We're putting a coat of color on now. I've got 2:10 on my watch. Okay, about 5 minutes flash time for the base. Applying the first coat of clear. We have about 5 minutes to let that set up. About 5 minutes. Okay, we're putting the second coat of clear on. Now the approximate time for the first coat to flash off is about 5 minutes. We're using a fast reducer with a fast catalyst for the clear. The temperature in the booth during the painting process is going to be 72 degrees and approximately 40% relative humidity. As we go through the curing phase, I will document that temperature and the humidity before I turn it to the cure phase. We'll run it through the curing phase in approximately 30 minutes, 20 to 30 minutes. We'll have a 10 to 12 minute cool down period. After the end of that period of time, we should be able to take the test panel out of the booth, take it over to the wash rack, wash it, chamois it, and do a demonstration of how pure the paint is by taking a DA with 400 grit sandpaper and sanding through the freshly painted paint. The gloss and shine of the paint, even though we're using a very fast reducer, the gloss retention is superior because of the ability to lay the paint on without danger of runs. He put a very heavy coat of clear on here, and we'll just leave it flash off a little bit here for the demonstration purposes. But right now the temperature inside the booth is 72 degrees. The outside temperature is 94 degrees with 80% relative humidity. The production capabilities of using the vapor recovery booth are substantial. The booths that are in operation in the rest of the paint department, we have 2 more Unicure booths that are being used as conventional booths, and we're using the slow reducer and the slow hardener, and the paint is going to take a whole lot longer to dry. It's holding steady at 72 degrees, verified by 2 controllers. The controller on the left is the controller that controls the temperature zone valve for the paint cycle. The one on the right will control the cure cycle. We're at 10 minutes into the cure cycle. The humidity inside the booth at this point is 60%. We will bring the temperature up to about 110, 115 degrees, and then we'll maintain the humidity at 60%. The setting for the maximum temperature needed is 120. When we reach the 120 degrees, we'll go back to the cure cycle. We are 15 minutes through the cure cycle. We've reached our set temperature of 120. It'll modulate there at 120 to 121, 122 degrees. Okay, we've got about another 10 minutes of the cure cycle. I'm going to shorten that down. The paint is already cured in the booth. I just went in and checked it. So I'm going to put it to the cool down cycle. Okay, we've just gone to the cool down cycle now. The hot water zone valve is shut off. We're starting to permeate some of the heat just through the skin of the booth and out through the glass. The cool down cycle will take about 8 to 12 minutes. We're going to run it back down to 72 degrees, which is our set temperature. As the system reaches a set temperature, the cooling is so rapid and the capacity for cooling is so great that it'll go beyond the set point of 72 degrees. It'll probably go down to about 68 degrees, modulate, and then the reheat valve will open and we'll start reheating the air and then maintain it again at 72 degrees for the next paint job. Okay, the temperature is going to continue to drop now as the AC system is cooling the air. The humidity reading right now has dropped to 33% relative humidity. We're sucking out all of the humidity that was in the booth. We're actually drying out the air now in the booth. As the cool down cycle continues, the relative humidity will maintain somewhere around 32–30% until it starts to modulate, and then it'll stabilize again at 40% as we reach the 72-degree set temperature. Right now the relative humidity in the shop is 85%. The temperature in the shop is 90 degrees. As you can see, we don't have a problem with having to work around the humidity. As the system is cooling down, we have the AC compressor supplying temperatures to the chiller coil. The chiller coil inside the unit, the surface temperature is 28 degrees. The air leaving temperature is 34 degrees. And that is why we are able to extract so much condensate out of the booth. We just condense all the humidity right back into a liquid. That condensate now is being used to flush out the system. It is also giving the AC coil a steam bath, so to speak, so it continually cleans itself. As we go to the next phase where we begin another paint cycle, the AC condenser coil will be totally clean, and it's just a self-washing action. Any of the particles that may possibly get through the filter systems are actually rinsed off in the steam bath. Well, we've got about 8 minutes since we've gone to the cool down cycle. It's down from 120 degrees. It'll continue to drop now. Once it gets down to about 85 degrees, it'll drop relatively quick. The coil will be starting to come under complete load. Okay, as the temperature continues to drop, the humidity is stabilizing now at 32 degrees. It'll start to raise as we continue to inject the live steam into the apex of the chiller coil and have cooler temperatures. The humidity will raise, and it'll stabilize again about 37 to 42% relative humidity. The humidity fluctuates a little bit because of the condensate running off of the coil. It actually keeps the coil a little bit cooler than what it would if it would be dry. We've reached 72 degrees. As I said, it'll continue to modulate and go down possibly 67, 68 degrees. And I will take the test panel that we painted about 35, 40 minutes ago out to the wash rack. We're going to wash it, we're going to chamois it, and we're going to take a DA with 400 grit sandpaper and sand right through the clear. Running water over the paint that was just painted 38 minutes ago. Again, you can see that it just beads up. We can leave it sit. There would be no water spotting. We could take and chamois it. We could do whatever needed to be done to it in order to deliver the vehicle or to reassemble it. As you can see, I'm rubbing it with my hand. You can hear that it's dry. No marks. Sanding the finish that was painted less than 45 minutes ago. Hopefully you can see the powder coming off. There's the powder on the hand. There's the face of the DA. Now I'm just going to wipe the powder off. Normally, if you did that with wet paint, you'd have all kinds of little gumballs rolling around in there. The disc is perfectly clean.